I'm Simon, I'm one of the volunteers at Newbury Soup Kitchen, and I'm at one of the outreach sessions that the charity run. And I'm with Gary, who I've known for a couple of years now. And we're going to get a quick idea of what Gary uses the soup kitchen for, how he found out about this. But first, Gary, I'd like to rewind to 2013 so you can just explain a bit about your story, really.
Yeah, sure. Prior to 2013, I was married, so I'm a lovely wife and lived in a lovely village. Everything was idyllic. I had a freak car accident in 2013. I swerved to miss an animal. I hit an oak tree. The oak tree won, basically. It's not a funny matter because I there on spent 4 months in hospital, 3 months in induced coma, where they put me back together and rebuilt me. So, yeah, pretty awful, as you can imagine. Then it went to, I didn't know at the time, but it went on to being PTSD, which I suffered with the mental health side. I basically started using cocaine. Cocaine was my way of trying to numb what I call the demons and the thoughts in my head. And as you can imagine, it basically escalated. A small little bit here and there got bigger and bigger. So as the years went on, I put strain on my marriage, and financially I had to fund the habit. So moving on to 2018 now, October off, I was using cocaine, quite a large amount of it, and I stupidly done an armed robbery, which I got caught for, and I got sentenced to 5 years, 4 months in prison. So that's serving 32 in, 32 out, which I've now completed. So I've done my 32 months in and 32 out. Upon leaving prison, against my wishes, my ex-wife's wishes, I was put into a hostel in Newbury, which I didn't know at the time, but we had suspicion there was a lot of drug use in there. So whilst being in there, I did start to use cocaine occasionally, which caused me a problem, basically. But that's all I had to do. I had to live there until probation, until I had suitable accommodation.
So how did you find out about Newbury Soup Kitchen and the services that the charity provide? Was it during that period?
During the period in the hostel, I was sort of posters and flyers about yourselves. I suppose I was a little bit, I don't know if I was a bit shy and a bit sort of nervous about what it was, the organisation that you are. So it took me till maybe September 21 before I actually decided I was going to pop down on a Thursday night to the Salvation Army, which I did. Thankfully I did. And it's so much more than just a soup kitchen. I thought, like most people, it was just soup and a bread roll or a bit of food handout, but no, so much more than that. So much more.
Give us an idea of the type of services that you've experienced.
Initially, and the most important thing was to help to secure a rent deposit scheme to get a privately rented flat accommodation to get me out of the hostel. That was, and still is, the most important thing to me, Simon. Other support, as I said, it's not just a soup kitchen. It's help with clothing, with looking for work, and with furniture, which I had from the furniture project, and so much more to their services.
You come along to the Wednesday ones occasionally and the Thursday as well?
I do. I often come to the wharf on a Wednesday, which I find I meet some friends down there and yourselves, and I come to the Salvation Army on a Thursday, which is nice to sit down and have a meal. But as I've already said, it's not just about the food. It's nice to have the food because I'm struggling like millions, but it's the support.
And it's the conversations that you have while you're eating the food, isn't it?
It is, and I don't think it dawns on me, Simon, until I get home. Then I sit there and reflect on it. And I think, you know what, that was good. So it's very important for my mental health. I've still got PTSD to this day. I'll probably never, the specialist said, get rid of it. It's in me now, but I've got medication. But I've got a lovely flat now, and it's partly to yourselves, a soup kitchen, and I'm currently looking for work, so things are okay at the moment.
And again, this whole journey, if you want to call it that, started from that freak accident that could happen to anybody, effectively.
Do you know, yes, Simon, I call it the thin line. I know it's an old cliche, but the line was very thin, and it was a drug use. It's such a thin line. I went over that thin line, started using the drugs, which obviously wrecked the marriage and led to crime.
But your life now is looking forward. As you say, you've got your house.
It's all forward, lovely little flats, looking for work, which yourself still, you support me with, and of course I still get the support with the food. So things are okay for me now. But as I say, this a vast part of that is down to the Newbury Soup Kitchen and yourselves, the volunteers.
Gary, thank you very much for talking to us.
I'm grateful. Thank you very much.
Appreciate it, mate.
Thank you.